Welcome to the Marketing Revolution Podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution Podcast in the Marketing Savage Facebook group. Coming to you guys today with another episode where I'm going to be dropping y'all a tech tip. I told you guys I'm going to be definitely giving out more tech tips, and today is no different, my friends. So I want to talk a little bit about something, and I know I may have covered this in the past, but I'm at the point now where I feel like if you're a new listener, you just came along, and even if you're a repeat listener, you've been following along the entire time, it would probably be good to be refreshed on some of the things that we've talked about in the past, because not only have them things evolved, but they're still critical and they're still powerful, and you need to be reminded. So one of my old mentors, Chet Holmes, literally created something called the Dream 100. And there's a lot of people that talk about this, and there are a lot of people that created spin-off versions, things like that. But he was the originator. It was the Ultimate Sales Machine. Or was it the Ultimate Sales Machine that Chet had? One of his books. He basically talked about this concept called the Dream 100. And here's how this came about. Chet was employed at a magazine company to sell ad space inside of a magazine. When he got there, they had some crazy amount of leads. I don't know if it was like 2,000, 3,000, whatever. It was a lot of leads that he had to follow up on, right? So what did he do? Just like normal salespeople do, they get into the CRM system. Back then, it was probably printed out on a sheet of paper. Who knows, right? It's been a long time since Chet Holmes had to actually physically work somewhere. But essentially, he was calling these leads, trying to sell ads inside of a magazine. And so some of you guys are as old as I am. I'm 41 years old, and I remember when I was a kid, magazines were the shit. I still remember walking into, back then it was called Kroger's. It was a supermarket, and my mom would be shopping, and I would beg her to let me go to the magazine aisle. And I would just stand there and stare at the magazines, right? And I was trying to think which one I wanted and how I was going to convince her to buy it for me. Because back then magazines were kind of expensive, and I just remember just staring at them. And I used to look at martial art magazines. I used to look at car magazines, all of that. But that was the most exciting part for me as a kid, going to the grocery store. And I loved looking at the ads. There were so many cool things in the ads. So back then, the ads in magazines were not only popular, they worked really well for people when it came to advertising. So Chet gets this job to sell ad space in a magazine. I can't remember which magazine it is, whatever. It's not even relevant to the story. So, but he's got 3,000 leads, and he tries calling these leads and all this kind of stuff, right? And he decides to come up with something you know what? I'm going to find 100 people that I know are really good, qualified leads to buy ads in this magazine. So what he did was he went to his competitors' magazines, right? The people that had a magazine that was similar to his magazine. And he went through there, and he found all the advertisements. So he wrote down all the advertisers in this competitor's magazine, and he ended up with around 100 of them. I think he said 107, something like that. So instead of focusing his attention on the 3,000 leads they had coming in, he focused 100% of his attention on the 100 people that were already advertising in competitors' magazines. What an intelligent dude. Which ended up working out well for him. The crazy thing for Chet, he said he had this pig head, stubborn thing going on where he knew that it was going to work, but it took him 3 months to make his first sale. And that's because that's the incubator time that it takes people to begin to know, like, and trust you. First you're oh, who's this dude calling me, right? And then little by little, as Chet's calling him and contacting him and sending him things in the mail, things like that. Eventually they're this guy's not giving up. Let's just give him a call. Let's see if it works. I'm making money in this other magazine. Let me call him back, right? So it took about 3 months to make his first sale, but then the sales just started pouring in. And it's a lot like that, what we call today, Ryan Stewman coined this the Dream 20. Ryan Stewman was mentored by Chet as well, and he called this the Dream 20. So the Dream 20 is where you go out and you find 20 people that either you'd really like to do business with, or you'd like to partner with, or you know that they have the ability to reach the audience that could use your product or services. Essentially, they have the ability to amplify your message. Maybe they got a podcast, or maybe they have a big Instagram channel, or, whatever. Maybe they've got a restaurant, right? And you want to advertise in the restaurant, whatever it is, right? Doesn't matter. So the Dream 20 came from the concept that on Facebook and Instagram and a lot of the social media platforms, you can literally follow about 20 people before they'll cut you off, right? So you can put them in your favorites on Facebook. So this gives you the opportunity to, instead of scrolling through Facebook, looking at meaningless stuff, you actually have the opportunity to be prospecting. And how you do that is number one, you do not sell. Do not go on Facebook trying to DM people with bullshit, trying to sell them stuff. It is the quickest way to make you look like a spammer and really just turn people off, and they won't want to do business with you at all. What you do is you go on and you just help them. Write comments on their post. Share their stuff. Connect them with people. Be the connector first. Give them referrals first. You see, my friends, this is the game. So many people go at this with the attitude that they just want to take. They just want to take from other people. Don't be a fucking taker. Be a giver. Because takers, man, y'all are in it for a quick buck. And you are going to get just that, a quick buck. For the givers out there who know how to wield their power of giving, it's going to be like planting a tree by living water, my friends. You're going to have some roots, and you're going to continue to grow, and you're going to continue to blow up because you seek to add value to the world first. Same thing with the Dream 20. You go out there, you comment on their stuff. I used to talk about this, about how you can literally build a business while you're sitting on a crapper. Because so many times and I say that basically in the intention that you can build a business with time that is being wasted. You can literally be on social media building a business. And that's when you identify the Dream 20, and you got to write this down. You got to write them down. Who are the Dream 20? Or you know what? If 20 people is too much, if you find yourself being confused, write down the Dream 5. Write down your Dream 10. If you can't do 20, do 5, do 10. But keep in mind, just like Chet had to deal with during that time, he had to deal with that little incubator time, right? When you plant a seed, it's going to take, so long before that seed actually comes out of the ground. And it's going to take even longer before it actually produces, produces value. You're going to have that same effect because online, it takes anywhere between 10 to 20 touch points before people begin to know, like, and trust you. So you got to be out there helping them out, giving them referrals. You give somebody a referral, that's going to be a faster path. It's going to take you a few touch points. But if you're out there commenting on their posts, sharing their posts, doing things like that, it's going to probably take you around 20 touch points before they start to know, like, and trust you. And anyhow, that's as far as I'm going to go with this today. On some other episodes, I'm going to talk a little bit deeper about how you structure your profile when they look at it. And but anyhow, that's it, my friends, for today. I want to talk to you guys about the Dream 100, and which now Ryan Stewman dubs that the Dream 20. But I'm telling you, even if you got to do a Dream 5, a Dream 10, as long as you get started and you start moving in this direction, and ultimately you find people that not only can connect you or you can connect with them, but also can amplify your message, now you're moving things to the next level. All right, y'all, I appreciate you. And as usual, I want to see you on the next one.